Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see you again. And we got an awesome match of me and my man Jacob here against Lin, versus my Doflamingo. And we actually end up having a really good couple of games here. We ended up, this was like just after one of our local matches. We were like, hey, let's get some matches in real fast, see what it's like. And I think we did a best of 3, and it turns out to be some really fun games, some really interesting moments, and definitely had to have it on here because, I love the Doflamingo matches, and I'm definitely going to be trying out different decks at, some of the locals, but I really want to get a good feel for this list first, and find that sweet spot of how it works for me and what are the best plays in certain positions. And yeah, I'm just enjoying it. I'm having a grand old time. But turn 1, he does play the putting down. I go ahead and pass over my turn 1, though. We will see a 5k swing coming in with putting, and then a 5k coming in with lead. I'll go ahead and take it. I like getting down to 2 life just because it's that sweet spot where I can use Thunder Bagua, but also not give yellow as much value for some of their cards. And we do pick up the Usopp here, a little bit of a forced search through because we had the Thunder Bagua and a Queen right there. But all in all, not too bad. We've got Nami established on the board. Pretty dang good. I think we got like 2 or 3 events in hand, so I'm feeling all right with this. We do counter out of the 5k swing. I don't think it was necessarily a bad idea, but I probably should have taken it. It's just it's that weird sweet spot that you're in where your opponent's on the odd curve, and if they get 7 drop down on curve, it feels weird because you have to trash a life. But if they don't, then it doesn't feel all too bad. But looks like we do whiff here. We got 2 10 drops and a sugar that end up coming down. He does get the Capone Bej as well out of life, so I can't attack with leader here. A little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'll just go ahead and throw down Brook and Usopp, going back up to 3 Dawn after passing turn. Just wanted to get some bodies on the board because yellow definitely hates when you just swing continuously 5 over and over again. Feels really good. And I will use the Punk Gibson, though, to get out of that Randolph swing. It would have been really nice if I did have Thunder Bagua in hand to, go pretty hard on that. But 7 cost Lin comes down here. I have some options. I'm like, yeah, I could just give him the life, or I could just take it. I choose to give it to him because it keeps him away from that. It keeps him away from being able to use leader ability just for a little bit longer. Not super relevant, but it is what it is. I am going to use Buena Festa here. I was trying to find the 7 cost Luffy, and I just cannot seem to get the card. This is one of the interesting things about the list sometimes is no matter how much I search, I'll try and find the card, and it's like crazy how much I can go through, and look through my deck and just not be able to find it. But it's like a 1 out of 10 games that this happens, so I can't really be that upset. It's just, the way that the shuffle works, the heart of the cards. But we do find the Guild Tessero off the first search. The second search, we are going to find that Luffy. It just feels a little bit inconvenient now because it would have been nice to find it on the first one and play it on curve, but a little unfortunate. He also gets a Parasparrow here, trashing the Cracker to play that down, which is really nice. And we swing 5. He does counter out. I will go ahead and swing 6, and he counters out of that as well. Going down to 4 cards in hand, I'm going to be a little greedy, and I'm just going to play Guild. I don't mind this, but it is also a little scary because we could just end up just playing into some pretty tough cards and pretty tough decisions here. I think that him going maybe like 7 with Randolph at life, I'd probably take pretty freely, and then playing that 7-drop Linlin that he has in hand really gives me kind of like an awkward spot But he does choose to go 8 with Linlin here. I'm not entirely sure if he's going life or if he's going at Nami. He is going at life, so I do choose to take this. We do pick up a Thunder Bagua, which is nice. And then, yeah, there it is, the 7-cost Linlin. So it does make a little bit of an inconvenient decision now. And now I do choose to go ahead and let the life go. Little ballsy, but, you know, it's okay. I will see the Spider's Web reactivating the Nami. Not really relevant here, but 2 Dawn left active and passing over the turn. Oh, I believe I remember he told me that he forgot to use his leader ability right here. He meant to do that with his 2 Dawn. And I offered, I said, hey, you can go ahead. Like, I don't mind if you want to take it back. And he said, no, it's fine. You know, got to learn from misplays and stuff. So, which was very honorable of him. Yeah, but we are just going to go ahead and do a little search. We do pick up a 2K counter, picking up the Chopper. And although we do have 7-cost Luffy, I'm not sure if we exactly have like a blocker to put in place with that just yet. So that is a slightly inconvenient, but I'm going to go 5 at the life with Brook here. He does choose to take no counter, or excuse me, no trigger. 5 again does get countered out pretty easily though with the pudding. I'm thinking about what I want to do here. I do choose to just go 5 and he will counter out of this. I am going to rest 7, play that. Oh, interesting. I don't think I have a blocker to put in place of this, do I? Oh, I do. I did have an Uta. Maybe I was just missing it, but we'll go 6 and I'll draw 2. We pick up some counterless cards, but I do have some events in hand. And yeah, reactivate the 2 going back up to 4 Dawn. It's still a little bit of a nerve-wracking situation to be in. He top decks the Thunderbolt, which is pretty disgusting, honestly. Like, it's one of those moments where he's trying to decide, like, should I go for game here? He doesn't have life, but I have, you know, some really good swings. I thought I would be pretty safe with the 2, what do you call it? The 2 blockers, but since we don't end up getting to use the Uta, it does become a lot harder to survive here. We also have a pretty bricked up hand as far as like counterless cards are concerned. I think he swings 10, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I feel like it was 10 that he was going for right here. And now after the Thunderbolt happens, I'm kind of thinking, how do I get out of this? And looking at my hand, I have like a 2K counter and 3 events. I can only have enough Dawn for 4 though. So I'll just punk Gibson and use a 2K counter. We are going to see a 9K swing coming down. I will just use Luffy and then use Spider's Web to restand the Luffy. But now we're just going to see a 9K swing. I got a block with Luffy, and then he swings 9 again. And I had 2 Namis as well as the Thunder Bagua. If I had a little bit of Dawn, it might have been a bit different, but couldn't save the 5, or excuse me, the 6 Dawn necessary for that turn. Had to get the blockers down and kind of hope that he didn't have Thunderbolt. But going into match 2, he got me on the first one. I have like a sense of vengeance right now. I'm trying to come back and yeah, feel good about the game. And then we do see the Linlin being picked up off of turn 1. So it gives us a little bit of information of some counterless cards and stuff. I feel I show my hand here because I think that my hand is actually kind of insane. It's good and bad for multiple reasons. I think it's pretty insanely good, but it also has some things to it that are just wow. We have 1 Uta blocker, but we also have like 3 Namis and had like 2 sugars in hand. So very interesting overall. Trying to pick up that 7-cost Luffy maybe around turn 2, or excuse me, turn 3 if possible, just before we get into the, you know, the sweet spot of being able to play that in Uta. 5K swing does come down. We will take this, taking the guild, and we take a second one, I believe, which was the Punk Gibson. I didn't really feel like resting or wasting that on a pudding, so I'll just keep my hand. And I do like that we picked up the Queen here, though. Queen is really nice in this situation. I am going to choose to take Brook, though, for some more counter power. I didn't have 7 costs to potentially chain out like another Nami, but just kind of working on that as a whole. Could potentially play the I don't know. I would say we're probably going to play the queen here instead of guild. And yeah, try and get that 7-drop Luffy if possible. And we do just draw into 2 more events, so we're pretty heavy on events at the moment. I'll go ahead and trash one of the Namis, though. I don't need 3 in hand, or excuse me, 2 in hand, but 3 altogether. Yeah. And now, I am just going to rest Queen to get out of this attack, use Thunder Bagawa to get back up, and then we will see a Sanji and a Pudding coming down. So he swung 5 with lead. We did just block that, and then the 7 at Nami, Thunder Bagawa to get back up to 8. I don't know if we drew into Luffy. It doesn't look like we have, which is a little unfortunate. So we might have to do a Nami search first just to test the waters, see if we can draw into it. But I choose to go Sugar because I know that 10 drops coming down. And yeah, with 10 cost coming down, it can be a little inconvenient, and I'm not really trying to deal with all that. So just 5 into the Sanji, taking the search right here. We do pick up the Uta. It gets countered out pretty quickly, which I'm fine with. At the end of the day, I don't mind him using some of these counters and blockers. I will just go 6 into the Sanji here. Make it a little more inconvenient. If he does have a 2k counter and he wants to save it, he's kind of got to go pretty hard. And he does decide to, going now down to a counterless hand, knowing that he has the 10 cost in hand, it makes me feel as though I'm looking pretty good, actually. Like, I'm not afraid of getting my life taken from 10 cost. It's more just trying to do as much as possible to whittle down those counter power resources out of his hand, and then basically just go for game in one big turn, especially when we have 10 cost Doflamingo in hand. So I'll just go ahead and use the Punk Gibson, though, resting the Sanji, and I think we're probably just going to see that Katakuri come down, maybe bounce the Guild. He knows how threatening that card can be. Yep, so Guild's going to be put up to the top, knowing that he has the 10 drop. Pretty relevant. And now I do choose to rest the Katakuri. I know that, you know, you might say, oh, well, why didn't you rest the Pudding? Because Pudding was the only thing that could attack Sugar. Well, the reason why I did that this turn was because I do have 10 Dawn. I am going to be playing that Doflamingo down to keep a lot of these scary characters on the board rested. And I want to swing into the Sanji first, though, just to get 1 more counter out of hand, but 2, also to get it down to 3 things that aren't able to swing. So now that he has done that, I can play 10 cost pretty comfortably. I will choose to go 6 at life and hope for no, crazy triggers, but we will just go ahead and play the Doflamingo, allowing him to restand the Pudding, but that's it. So 10 drop does come down. There goes my Guild. A little unfortunate. Oh, I think he forgot to restand Pudding, actually, because I would only chose to do the Katakuri, Randolph, and Leader. But, I mean, it's not like it was really relevant. He was playing 10 cost anyways. So, yeah, we'll just go 5 at life with the Nami, though. He does pick up an Ikkaku Sovereignty. He's thinking of whether he wants to use it, but he chooses not to. Yeah, just a lot of 5k swings, though, are getting really good value at the moment. We will go 10, and I think I go 10 at life here. Little unfortunate that he does get the Thunderbolt off on the Queen. I would have liked to have that up for potentially like a restand with Spider's Web, but it's all right. But we chain the 10 drops right here. Love to see it. That is like it's such a great combo if you're able to get that early search power and then just combo right into that. Yellow feels like they can't really do much in this situation. And, as much as he's got, like, some decent counter power, actually, having Ikkaku Sovereignty in hand, he can't really use Leader ability. So he's forced to use 10-drop Linlin here, or to swing really heavy with Pudding and his 10 cost, which wasn't really going to get him much value. He chooses not to swing with the Linlin. I thought that was interesting. I don't think it's necessarily, like, a bad decision, but I think he was a little too afraid of the, well, what was it? I'm forgetting the name of it. The 10 cost coming down yet again. And I do choose to swing the rest of the Dawn, which I believe was a 12k swing. He had enough to get to 11, which was pretty decent. But that's why I chose to go 11 with Doflamingo, just in case of that exact situation. And then the rest on leader. But pretty dang good. Second game definitely came down to that match. We were able to get a lot of our search power off in the early stages of the game, and then kind of combo that into the 10 costs coming down and chaining that effect. It was just, it felt like everything went the right way for me, that match. Now, the only thing that kind of sucked was Beji. Beji made that game a little bit scarier than I wanted it to be. Coming out of life, yeah. But first 2 turns, he just swings on second turn, and then I'll just go ahead and play the Nami. The same strat, the tried and true. Wow, we have a lot of events in hand. I think I've got like 3 or 4 events in hand right now. That's kind of crazy to look at. But we're just going to see a 5k swing going down to 2 life per usual. Just feels like, you know, the sweet spot against yellow. It gives me that Thunder Bagua possibility. A lot of good stuff in there. And yeah, I'm liking how the hand's looking, but let's just make it look even better. We'll go ahead and pick up the guild off the Nami search. Might not be a bad play to just go ahead and get that down. I don't think we have a queen in hand, nor do we have like any usable 4-cost cards. Like a Brook play into, like a Brook into Nami, or like a Brook into an Usopp or something like that. And I'm really excited to show some of the changes I've made to the list in not this upcoming week's videos, but next week. Yeah, I've made a couple of changes, and I'm really liking where I've gone with it. I'm trying to make it so that it's more well-rounded into multiple matchups versus just having best ofs. And we'll see 7k with Randolph right here. I will restand using Spider's Web on Nami. I want to keep that draw power going. You know, 10 cost Doflamingo is great and all, but I don't mind getting there slowly. I'll let him build his board first, exhaust his options, then play it. So my plan is to just keep drawing cards, keep drawing blockers, keep drawing 2k counters, and guild allows me to get into more of those like event cards since they cannot be searched. It's overall feels really nice. We're picking up all the events this game. It is crazy. And the nice top deck into the Luffy. I would have searched it anyways with Nami, but it's more convenient to just pick it up now and not have to really worry about it. So that's definitely going to be our play. I'd probably do a Nami swing, do the search, Doflamingo swing, and then guild. Honestly, I might even just use guild ability, potentially. Yeah, I might just use it this turn and not go up to 10. I don't feel like it's really necessary. Yep. And I am just going to use that. I like this. We'll pick up 2 Brooks here. A little unfortunate to pick up the Brooks after we've already played the Luffy, but yeah. I'm glad that we decided to swing with Tessero because he did set up that last life, and he uses the Thunderbolt knowing how much of a pain in the ass Tesoro can be. But we pick up another one through the Nami search. He's like, oh man, come on, dude, just let it slide. But we'll pass it over. We've got like 80 cards in hand right now, looking pretty good. You know, if he does decide to attack, I've got a fifth of my deck in my hand. That's pretty much cheating, you know, arguably. I like this deck a lot, and I am going to counter out of the 1k swing though that is coming from the Sanji. I'm thinking about using Luffy and 1k counter, but I also could just use an event. We have so many events in hand. I don't think that would have been a bad idea. The Linlin comes down. I think we just trash this. I don't really feel like it's worth giving him one, but maybe I'm wrong. I guess I'm mulling over it, so I guess it's a bit of a decision. No, I choose to let it go. I think that's smart. Unfortunate that it's a Doflamingo, but is what it is. And he does swap out the life using leader ability. I believe it ended up being a Thunderbolt that he put in there, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I'm like 90% certain. I thought I saw a Thunderbolt at least. And now we will see the Nami coming into more than likely the Sanji, and I do use the search. Bottom decking another Doflamingo, but wait. Did I just misdo that? I did just misdo that. No! Oh my god, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. It's not like it really helps me, but... Ah, man, I'm embarrassed. I just searched Nami with Nami. That was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake. Alright, but... Anyways, we're going to see a Buena Festa coming down here. Definitely taking the 7-drop Luffy. Okay. Did I really just pick up Nami? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Alright. Like I said, it's not like it really helps me that much, but it's just... I definitely know better. Why did I do that? I think maybe I was so excited because I got... I actually, at this tournament, traded for 2 of these alt-art film Namis, and I was really happy. I was like, yeah, I have Namis. This is so cool. But we'll probably do a 7k swing here. I think I might choose to go into Randolph because it looks like he hasn't been countering out of too much. But no, I think we just go at life. Yeah, we do just choose to go at life. He picks up Bedge and doesn't use it. Finds an Ikaku Sovereignty as well. And then we'll just go ahead and pass it over with a lot of Dawn active. And the reason why I did this was because I knew that if he has Thunderbolt, he could just Thunderbolt the Uta and swing super heavy on that Lin. And we have more than enough events to get out of this with how much Dawn we've saved. So that was my plan. I don't know if that's what he's got, but I was just trying to, you know, trying to do that as well as possible. And now we'll probably end up seeing, looking at his hand, it looks as, he doesn't really have too many amazing options, if I'm being honest. 8 cost Katakuri into putting Pudding on life, using maybe leader ability to put Ikaku Sovereignty on the top of life instead of Pudding, and then, I don't know, surviving one more turn after that? I'm not sure. That might be like the ultimate bait, but I think he chooses to go a little bit different of a route. He goes 6 here. I feel like I remember... Oh no, he does 7, and then he swaps out the life. And I remembered that I messed this up. I was supposed to use Uta and Dawn -1 rest the Randolph, but I realize it now after he attacks with it. I go, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. I forgot to use Uta. I was supposed to rest this, and it's a simple mistake, but I continue to make it. I don't know why. I was like, yep, if I could just rest it, and I'm stupid, but that's the beauty of playing these matches. You practice, and you get better at it eventually, you know? But me, I make mistakes constantly. Yeah, we will just go ahead and use the Spider's Web, though, reactivating the Luffy. Katakuri does come down, bouncing the Luffy back, and then I think there was like an 8k swing. We just go ahead and use Punk Gibson. Not like it's really, really relevant. I think we have more than enough. He has 1 life. We have enough on board to potentially go for game, but I'm just going to test the waters first. I'm going to swing 7 with Nami and see what he does. I'm like, all right, does he counter out of this, or am I playing blockers? Like, that's basically the question. He does use Ikaku Sovereignty, puts a new card down, and now I'm really kind of thinking about this. I'm like, uh-oh. I find myself in a pretty bad spot. I was like, I don't want to, you know, play scared, but at the same time, like, going 9 and 9 is a little scary when he has, I think, like 3 cards in hand and 1 that he's going to get from life, especially that it could be a blocker, it could be something else, but I decide to just go for it. I swing 9. He does get a 10 drop, but he only had 4k counter in hand. We do end up picking up the game 3, a little closer than it needed to be. Really embarrassed about that Nami search. Just looking at the game, I'm like, uh-oh, did I really just search Nami? But guys, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one, all right? Peace.